How about a little recognition around here? This is Billy Goldfeder answering some questions from you as part of our What's Your Problem series hosted by Fire Rescue One and Lexipol. And here's today's question. How do I get the fire chief to realize the importance of awards? Firefighter of the month, year, swearing in firefighters and officers, citations for excellence, etc. That's a great question. Some departments overdo it, like, my gosh, you have a pulse? Let's give you a uniform bar for that. Showed up for work with no lates? Oh, you get a medal. That's ridiculous. I think the standard has to be set that you really, if we're talking about life-saving awards, you really have to have saved a life. And there's criteria for that. But let me dig down a little bit more here in your question. So I definitely think swearing in of officers and a pinning ceremony is of great value. You bring the families in, the spouse or partner or the kids pin their loved one, they get their badge. We just had that, as a matter of fact, at our department for a couple of recent promotions. And we get a great turnout for that. And what a great opportunity for those folks to be recognized. What does it cost you? A couple of donuts or a fruit plate or whatever the hell you give people to eat, right? But the value is you're getting families. You got a press opportunity. You can put it on social media. And the members feel good as opposed to, here's your badge, go run the firehouse. So I'm just looking at your question to make sure I covered it. Yeah, so definitely swearing in, promotions. Citations for excellence. Very simple response. Let's define excellence. Let's put it in writing. And then let's give everybody the same awards. Not just some sucky who did really good, so the chief decides to give that person an award. But if it meets the criteria, Okay, so, excellence, maybe you give somebody an attendance award. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, you're supposed to come to work, but do a little paper certificate, thank you for coming to work certificate or something like that. But let's say somebody is, and not a tactical, let's say somebody's invented something in your department, or has come up with a better way to operate. That's worthy of a citation. Again, I'm not talking about some big fanfare, but a certificate or a letter from the fire chief thanking them. Now let's go up the ladder a little bit. There should be a standard for life-saving, heroic versus non-heroic. Our crews, when they're operating on a medical emergency and they save a life, I think that is worthy of a note, a letter. I don't know that it's a life-saving award because there's no risk. And some of you are cringing right now. Oh, you can get COVID, you can get a disease. I understand that. But we have protection that can minimize that. Let me switch it now to what we just watched over the weekend when you saw the New York City firefighters come down the rope. That's life-saving, but that's at great personal risk. Can you imagine if they didn't check their ropes, if they didn't prepare themselves, if they didn't drill, didn't train? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So the real answer to all this is develop a criteria. Don't just suddenly decide you want to have awards. Develop a criteria so everybody knows up front, whether it's Julie, Jack, Sam, or Mike, if they do these things, then they're worthy of recognition. And again, if you get hurt in the process of saving a life, that's worthy of looking at. So yes, tell your chief or suggest to your chief, or better yet, draw up a policy. And you can Google that. There's plenty of good ideas on the internet. Award ceremony, just Google and, fire department award ceremony criteria, things like that. Or shoot me an email. I probably have some in the files that I can send you. But my point is, you don't want it where, I guess people like to talk about this today with kids' sports. Some sport teams give awards out to kids' sports just for participating. And there are certain people in our society, and not bad or good, just their opinion, that just because little junior showed up, he should or she should get a medal. I don't agree with that. If little junior showed up and their team didn't win, thanks for being here. You lost. Now you're learning about losing, right? So same kind of attitude here. I do recognize the fact that it's important for us to recognize our firefighters, but let's identify in writing ahead of time through a criteria what is award worthy, what is doing your job, and let's identify that so there's no confusion and so that everyone is looked at equally. Anyway, thank you for that question. Email me at Fire Rescue One with any questions you have. I promise you I'll do my best to give you, well, you'll always get my opinion, but I'll also try and get you some facts in there as well. Thanks so much and take care.